panelists are ready, candidate is ready, we can start.
Yes, sir, we can start.
Right. Good morning, Jaya.
Good morning, sir.
What I see from your biodata that after doing inter science, you did history major from IGNOU University. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
And then you have qualified after that this civil services main exam.
So last year I could not qualify the mains exam, and this is my second attempt.
Good, very good. And you have a deep connections with Devghar and Jasidi. That's true.
Yes, yes, sir.
Right. So as we all know that Devghar, we have one of this goddess Jyotirlinga. So
Yes.
are you aware about this concept of what are the Jyotirlings and why 12 of them are famous and which are the others? Can you say us something about that?
Sir, there are 12 Jyotirlings, and these are very secret places of worship of Lord Shiva. And sir, I do not know the philosophy behind Jyotirlings. Actually, I forgot right now.
And you are aware about some other Jyotirlings in the country?
Yes, yes, sir. Sir,
Can you
there
name?
is Badrinath, Kedar. Yes, sir. Sir, Somnath. Then there is Omkareshwar, Mahakaleshwar.
Are you sure that Badrinath is a seat of Lord Mahadeva?
So, sir, can I say the names again?
Oh, yeah, please.
Okay, sir. So, there is Somnath, there is Rameshwar, then Badrinath, then there is Omkareshwar, Mahakaleshwar. Sir, right now, and sir, there is Shiv Salam in the south, which is both a Jyotirling and a Shiv and a Shakti Peeth also.
Good, well tried. Now, this after division of Bihar, Devghar falls in Jharkhand. So, given a choice, what would have opted? Devghar should have been in North Bihar or South Bihar? Bihar अच्छा था या झारखंड अच्छा है?
Sir, I feel that the present division is quite good because, 1 minute, my net. Hello?
Yeah, we can
Sorry,
hear
sir,
you.
my network connectivity was poor. Sorry, sir, my network connectivity was.
We can hear you,
Sir,
and in case of problem, you can switch off the video and we can have the audio only. But right now, both are all right. I can hear you well. So please carry on.
Sir, I feel that Devghar is the cultural capital of Jharkhand, and we have multiple communities living here in harmony, including the Bihari population also. And there are also a significant number of tribes and people from other areas like Bengalis. So I feel that it highlights the cosmopolitan culture of Sadhani and tribal population of Jharkhand, which have existed since centuries. So therefore, I feel that it is very good that Devghar is a part of Jharkhand right now.
So when was this Jharkhand carved out of Bihar?
So on 15th November 2000.
So in last 20 years, what development you think has come into in Jharkhand? Overall, in which aspect the state has improved?
So first of all, I feel that it has improved in inclusion and participatory democracy, because earlier the most of the government jobs and many posts were thereby were taken by Bihar people who lived in the Bihar region. But right now we are seeing that tribal women and men are also there in key posts. So this is a major development. Secondly, sir, even in the economic area, Jharkhand is one of the top states in the ease of doing business index, and it is the sixth largest state in terms of FDI inflow in the states of India. So I feel that, sir, multiple areas of development have taken place. Even in the social sector, the infant mortality rate and the maternal mortality rate of Jharkhand is lower than the national average.
Okay. What impact it has made on the problem of Naxalism?
Sir, right now, As has been said by many dignitaries, Naxalism is in the last leg in Jharkhand, though it still exists in districts like Latehar, Palamu, and the areas that are near the Chhattisgarh border, though it has a danger of re-emerging.
So, what do you think? How Naxalism can be totally eliminated from Jharkhand?
Sir, I feel that in the areas, in the rural areas, there is still poor connectivity, and the people need to be connected to development. They need to be given skill education and employment, because Naxalism Naxalism emerges through the support of people who are denied these opportunities. Also, sir, I think that security is a key issue, and digital infrastructure and physical infrastructure like roads and key government buildings, etc., can be there in such areas to prevent Naxalism from re-emerging.
You are a student of political science also as one of your optional. Can you see me the uh, uh, political aim of Naxalites? What are their political aims?
Sir, they said though there is not a coherent political aim, but they aim at at a revolution by throwing out the state and establishing an autocratic and a people's rule, what they call, though it is not a people's rule in any sense of the word.
Uh, don't they have the coherent political thought? Don't they follow the theory of Marx, Lenin, and Mao?
Yes, sir. Sir, they claim to follow these theories.
So this seems to be a comprehensive political thought of evolving Marxism all over the world. So do you think they don't adhere to that, or they don't follow it, or they are just preaching something, doing something? Why did you say that they don't follow the comprehensive political thoughts?
So I feel that it is quite it is a movement that exploits people's grievances. And the main aim of the movement is just acquisition of power in these areas which have poor connectivity with the mainland India. And had it been a coherent ideology, we would have seen development in the areas that are there that are dominated by Naxals. But this is not the case.
Okay, okay. Now I'll request Shri Pramod Kumarji to take over.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway, I think my video is not coming. Am I audible? Yeah, now it comes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's all
Morning,
right. It's all right.
Good morning, Jaya. I will just carry forward the discussion that has just ended. Do you think that by adopting this ideology of Marxism, Leninism, and Maoism, and still adhering to it in whatever way, the Naxalites are not serving their own cause because the people are now fed up with that ideology, whether with justification or without. But if they simply fight for their own issues like sources, forest rights, and all those things, it will help their cause. Do you think so?
I feel that first of all, and through a proper mechanism, please follow these mechanism, then of course it will help in it will help the local population, and it will also help in legitimization of their ideology.
Do you think that communist revolution has failed?
Sir, did you ask that? Do you think that communist revolution has failed?
Yeah, I said that. Do you think that people say that communism has failed? See, in Russia, what has happened? Then in China, what has happened? So do you believe this theory that the communism has failed? And if yes, then why? Because you are a student of political science. Rather, you have opted
Sir,
for that.
I feel that communist revolution. Yes, sir. Sir, I feel that it has not failed entirely. It exists as a critique to the prevalent social order. Like we are seeing an increasing inequality in the time of corona pandemic, and we are seeing increasing joblessness, and the migrant crisis, for example, was seen in the first wave. And communism exists to provide a criticism to these things, and some of the precepts of our constitution also, like a welfare state, is also derived from communism. So it has not completely failed, but the idea of a violent communist revolution has failed, sir.
You must have studied that political philosophies of Western philosophers. Have you?
Yes, sir.
Which philosopher has attracted you most?
Sir, John Rawls has attracted me the most.
Reason?
Sir, he focuses on equalization of the basic resources like healthcare, education, which he calls as primary resources. And what I like the most about him is that he does not shift towards either a, a libertarian form of political view that states that man should do everything by his or her merit. Neither he states that the state should have the commanding heights in the economy. Rather, he states that we need to have a state that empowers people and gives them an equal level playing field. So I feel that this is very innovative, and also such a precept is there in India also. Like we have reservation, which equalizes the social discrepancies.
Do you think that Afghanistan is going to create a huge problem in our neighborhood? Because US is now leaving Afghan and Taliban is still in the control. So what is your view on that? What should be and
Sir,
how to solve this problem? Because India is going to be affected.
yes, sir. Sir, 30 years ago, when Russia had left, Afghanistan was embroiled in a civil war, and there were the rise of militants. So, in a pragmatic view, this cannot be totally discarded right now, especially as the US is not able to focus on an ending of violence and ceasefire in Afghanistan region. But we should also know that right now the Indian army is much better placed to tackle challenges like the last time's rising insurgency in Jammu Kashmir in 1990s after the withdrawal of USSR. So I feel, sir, the same thing will not happen, but we need to be prepared for the worst.
Do you visualize any positive Indian role in solving this Afghanistan problem? Or you think that India should not intervene, it should not interfere?
Sir, I feel that India has already been doing a good role in ensuring development in Afghanistan, and it has already given around 3 billion of aid, and also it has focused on creating a goodwill in Afghanistan, and thus India can take a role in engaging with multiple sections of Afghan society, and also in ensuring that the rights of minorities and women are safeguarded.
Recently, in a memorial lecture, the Chief Justice of India has said that right to change the government after 4 or 5 years every time is not a safeguard or sure shot safeguard against tyranny. Do you have anything to comment on that?
So we have also read it in Hannah Arendt's philosophy, and she states that the power does not ever lies in the hand of the state. It rather lies in the hand of people who are politically educated and aware. And if the people are not aware and educated, then they will not be able to make the right decisions regarding democracy or regarding electing their representatives. And even if they are given decisions, it may lead to a mobocracy, or it may lead to a government that does not serve their interests the most. So I feel that the Honorable Chief Justice of India was trying to highlight this fact, that we need to be more politically aware as citizens.
Okay, my last question is, do you find any assertiveness in the Chinese stance towards its neighbors and including India? If
Yes,
yes,
sir, of
then how to
course.
counter it?
Sir, we need to increase the infrastructure in the border areas, which the government is already doing. We need to have greater partnerships with other countries that share our concerns. Like Quad is a good grouping and it can be leveraged to this aspect as well. And sir, I also feel that we need to have a good intelligence in the border areas, and we can also ensure that we have better trust with the people living in the border areas, so that if the locals see any suspicious activity, then they can inform the army at the earliest.
Okay, thank you, Jaya. Best of luck.
Right,
You have
right.
done well.
Thank you. Santoshi, please take over.
Yes, thank you, sir. So, Jaya, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, I see your biodata and find that from regular formal schooling, all of a sudden you switched over to Open University. What went wrong? And even your performance plummeted very badly. What went wrong, Jaya?
Sir, first of all, I could not do a regular schooling, a regular college, because in my area, the colleges at that point of time used to complete the graduation in around 3.5 to 4 years. So I opted for IGNOU, and also that it has very good quality resources. And I was always focused towards my civil service preparation. And sir, as for my marks, I would say that since I had transitioned from PCM to history, which is core humanities subject, I was not aware of answer writing, and this happens, I feel, more in an open university where we have less teacher to student interaction. So sir, I feel these are the key reasons.
All right. So, you did your
Yes, sir.
history major. So, may I ask you certain questions on history? You see, you'll agree with me that Bihar has been the seat of learning historically. And
Yes,
till
sir.
1956, Bihar was the most well-governed and well-administered, prosperous state of this country. So what went wrong in the years that followed? Give me a historical perspective.
Sir, I feel that historically we have not focused towards uh, educating women and educating the people who are socially and educationally disadvantaged. Like there has been an amount of caste inequality in the history of Bihar. Also, there has been, yes, sir. So were you telling something?
ऑनलाइन कर चली रहा है 10 बजे से।
Carry on, Jaya.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I was telling that there is an amount of caste inequality, and also we have somewhere or the other forgotten to put equal emphasis on women's education. And these things lead to a lower human development index, which ultimately led to Bihar not utilizing the benefits of the development like the service sector and green revolution even.
You mean to say there was
And
lack
this
of
led to
political
sir
will?
a decline. Sorry, sir, I could not hear you.
You mean to say that there was lack of political will?
Sir, to an extent there was, but I feel that political will is also dependent on the people.
Okay. Uh, now I go to your hobby. I go to your biodata and find that you have been the school head girl. You definitely have leadership qualities. So, if you are district magistrate of Ranchi, what 3 steps will you take for women empowerment in your district?
So first of all, I will try to ensure an attitudinal change through focus on gender sensitization of both boys and girls, which is crucially needed in Jharkhand region. Secondly, sir, I will ensure safety of women through regular night patrols and through ensuring that street lights are there everywhere for their safety. Thirdly, I feel that a good step would be a swift focus towards every case of sexual harassment or domestic violence that is not emphasized in our society so much.
So out of the 3 priorities that you just listed, education was missing.
But sir, I could not hear you.
Should educating women not be the first priority?
Yes, sir. But sir, I also feel that women are getting educated, but an attitudinal change is not seen. Like in Kerala, there was recently a case of dowry harassment in which a woman committed suicide. So, sir, I feel that for women empowerment, education is only one factor. And what we need more is a change in attitude.
Santoshi, are you there? I think we have lost
some connectivity issues.
connectivity issue. So, Vijay, you can take over when he reappears. So you can continue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Hello, Jaya. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, Jaya, you tell me, what is circular economy?
The circular economy is a form of economy where all the waste products and the end-use products are used as raw materials for the manufacturing of new goods. Like we can use electronic waste to manufacture so computers or other things if they are properly recycled.
So it's only recycled economy, or it's something like that whenever you are creating something new, then you have this concept in mind that I'm going to create it for circular economy.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is also that.
Okay. So you are from Jharkhand, and I saw that there is a plenty of natural resources in Jharkhand. But still, the way the development was expected from Jharkhand, it is not there. So can you indicate the 3 challenges which is not allowing Jharkhand to get that much developmental fruits that was required?
The first reason is that there is low human resource development in this area, due to which the people are not able to form an entrepreneurship and new projects for the economic growth. And secondly, I feel, sir, that historically we had right equalization policy, which led to the outflow of capital and outflow of goods from raw materials from Jharkhand to other regions like West India and North India. And thirdly, sir, I feel that land laws, though they uphold the identity of the tribal people, but still they are somehow or the other creating a hindrance in the ease of doing business.
Do you also think that there is a lack of inspiration in people?
Sir, I feel that in some areas, I would say there is a lack of awareness in people because they have not been exposed to development.
So whatever they are getting, they are happy. Isn't it?
Yes, sir, there is a contentment. Yes, sir.
Okay, can you please tell me what is gender justice?
The gender justice is ensuring that women and the people and the transgenders also are ensured justice through in form of in cases of violence, and also the laws and the other regulations that are made cater to their needs. Like the budget, once the budget was dedicated to women and we had separate gender budgeting.
Okay, okay. Do you know Visakha guidelines?
Yes, sir.
Who,
So it
who
is
was Visakha?
it is
Who
ensured
was
so
Visakha?
that section.
My question is, who was Visakha?
So Vishakha was an activist in Rajasthan region, and she was so as far as I remember that I think she died after a case of a case of sexual harassment against her.
Okay, in 2013, there was an act was made for stopping the sexual harassment at workplace. Can you name the name of the
Yes.
act in detail?
So I do not. So it is something like sexual harassment prevention, and sir, it was a big name, so I cannot remember it.
Okay, Jaya, you tell me, like, what is the minimum percentage of women at workplace is desirable?
So I feel that since women are 49% of the population, ideally 49% of women are desirable in the workplace.
Okay, okay. It is claimed that some people also claim that like women is responsible, equally responsible, in fact, sometimes more than responsible for infanticide. So, what is your take on this?
So I have felt that socialization takes place in both men and women regarding patriarchal norms, and both imbibe these norms. And we have men who are crusaders of gender justice, and we have women who follow patriarchal norms. So women and men both are responsible for such acts like infanticide.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Jaya. I'm done, sir.
Yes.
Anupam,
Sir, good morning,
please.
Jaya.
Good morning, sir.
So, Jaya, my first question to you is, you mentioned that you opted for Open University because you wanted to prepare for civil services, and that it is good that you had decided this from such an early age. So my question to you is, like, what is the difference between an Open University and normal university or a normal college? And do you feel that you have missed out on something by not attending a regular college or university per se?
So the key difference is that in an open university, there is no minimum attendance required, and also it can cater to multiple sections that, for example, it can cater to the rural areas, it can cater to the needs of working women and people who are employed. And this is not the case with regular universities. And so the thing is, the difference between both of the two is also that in an open university, we miss out on peer-to-peer interaction, which is, I feel, a crucial part of personality development. Also, we miss out on student-to-teacher interaction. And some aspects like technical courses cannot be taught that well, in my opinion, through an open university.
Okay, Jaya. So there was a recent controversy which took place in India regarding Twitter. So do you know about that controversy?
Yes, sir. So the
Okay,
government
so
has
Jaya, what is your view?
changed the
Should
IT rule. Yes.
yeah, yeah, please continue.
So should I? So according to me, so the any firm, whether it is domestic firm or a global firm, must be following the laws of the nation, and the laws that were framed by the government were not a whole were not an infringement to privacy, in as many critics had highlighted, because these laws were made for the reason of national security and for the reason of protecting women against sexual harassment at the digital space. So I feel, sir, and be some reasonable restrictions which the government was trying to put.
Okay, Jaya. So recently there has been an inclusion of retail and wholesale trade as MSMEs. So how do you think this inclusion will help the traders of India in better accessing the markets?
Sorry, sir, I
Did
could
you get
not
my
get
question,
that
Jaya?
well.
So
No,
Jaya, I
sir.
said that recently there has been an inclusion of retail and wholesale trade as MSMEs, micro, small and medium industries, enterprises. So how do you think this inclusion will help traders across the country to better access markets?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of this. I will look into it afterwards.
Okay. Jaya, can you tell me the reason why India does not do very well in Olympics?
So one of the reasons, in my opinion, is that we do not have a culture that promotes sports since childhood, and we are often driven towards driven toward job-centric studies. And also, sir, there is a lack of infrastructure in rural areas, and this leads to a situation where people cannot identify their talents at an early age.
Okay. So Jaya, Lucknow became the country's first stadium. Lucknow became the first city to have a stadium for physically challenged people. So what do you
Yes,
think
sir.
are the problems that physically challenged people face, while accessing basic utilities such as stadiums, schools, etc.?
First is the lack of infrastructure in these areas. Many times there is a lack of ramps and a lack of infrastructure that is sensitive to their needs. And also, sir, secondly, there is a lack of sensitization among the people to help such people.
Okay. Jaya, you had history as your subject during your university days, and yet you opted for political science and international relations as your optional subject for civil, choosing this particular
So,
subject. Could you enumerate the reason?
so since I was in an open university, I had a lot of time to explore other areas, and I saw many YouTube videos on and lectures on political science, and it really attracted me because unlike history, political science is a multidimensional course, and so it
Okay.
is also aligned to the UPSC requirements of general studies as well. So, sir, these were my key reasons for choosing political science.
Okay, Jaya, my last question to you is, how could India have tackled the COVID-19, the second wave of COVID-19 better?
So I feel that some level of preparedness should have been there, which were lacking. Like in a district in Maharashtra, a district magistrate had installed oxygen plants just after the second wave. And if this could have been done in every district, then it would have been a great deal in the second wave of the pandemic. And so also I feel that we should have focused on sensitization of people and awareness more, because there was a stigma, especially in rural areas, with regard to accessing the hospitals, and there was a stigma against being told that you are COVID positive in these areas. So these
Okay.
things could have been addressed so people get help.
Okay. So Jaya, these are all the questions from my side. Now I'll pass over the baton to Arun.
Thank you, Anupam. Jaya, a few last questions. Being a student of international relation, how do you perceive any change in the world order after post-COVID? Do you think there is going to be significant change post-COVID in the world order?
Sir, in my opinion, there will be. We have already moved towards a scenario where national borders have taken a greater prominence, and there has been focus on uh, deglobalization, as some people call it. Sir, this will continue. Also, sir, the domain of security will get broadened, and it will also ensure the inculcation of biosecurity, health security, and such areas in strategic studies.
Do you see more polarization or multilateralism?
Sir, right now we have seen some level of polarization with regard to especially in the first wave of the COVID pandemic. But sir, I feel that in the long run, we cannot comment on this thing because it is ever changing.
Okay. Coming to your hobby, you given a choice, if somebody asks you that pros and cons between morning walk and yoga, what would you prefer and what will be your preferences and what are the pros and cons of both the form of exercises?
So I will choose morning walk over yoga because I feel that though yoga is a holistic way of exercising, and it also ensures flexibility, and yoga ensures that we are both physically fit as well as mentally fit. But morning walk also ensures that we experience the beauty of nature, as I live in a semi-urban area, and also we can inculcate some form of exercises and brisk walking, jogging, etc. with morning walk to make it a holistic activity. And if we do morning walk for around 6 to 7 kilometers daily, I feel that it is sufficient for a 25-year-old like me, 24-year-old like me to be healthy.
Good. So that's all about your interview. Jaya, you have done very well. You have a very calm composure.
Thank you,
You
sir.
have listened to all the questions well, responded well, and your preparation is good. And one or two questions here and there doesn't matter. That inclusion of this traders in MSME, all those things you can see. And keep it up.
Yes.
I wish you all the best. And I would like my co-panelists to comment on your performance. To start with, Shri Pramod Kumar ji.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible, and video is also coming. Please carry on.
Jaya, I think you were quite confident, very analytical
Thank you,
in
sir.
your approach. I was really impressed with your answers.
Thank you.
Little dressing up is required because when you are speaking on some aspects of the foreign policy, the questions were quite complicated, and the answer that will be expected of you is quite in good preparation, like on Afghanistan policy, what will be the response towards China, and try to understand that. You dress up, for example, in the case of statement of the Chief Justice, the question was basically that see the electoral politics. We have read philosophy. Socrates was against democracy. So was Plato. Why? Although there was electoral democracy in there. But they realized that electoral
Yes.
democracy or electoral way in which the country is moving, sometimes it turns into mobocracy.
Yes.
Now, that is precisely what the Chief Justice is saying, that electoral device to change the leadership is not sufficient. The other arms like press, like the intellectuals of the society, these should be also vigilant to protect the democratic system. Otherwise, if you change, that system can be manipulated. So one should be careful. So just brush up. My only thing is that you brush up. I was listening to you in other interview panels when they were asking you questions. It is quite good, and little brushing up will definitely help you. I
Yes.
wish you all the best in your interview. Your confidence will definitely bring you very good results. Thank you.
Thank
Vijay.
Sir, Jaya, you are definitely a promising candidate, and you will do definitely good in interview.
Thank you.
This is your first mock here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so appear at least 2 more mocks. Okay, and whatever feedback today we are giving, just concentrate on that. And I will suggest you to prepare, a little bit in depth about Jharkhand, like natural resources,
Yes.
developmental, indicators, then demography. Okay, and
Yes.
stable and unstable government for the last, 20 years. So these all things you prepare well, and then some of the issues that I ask about women, you also prepare, in good details, like Visakha, who was Visakha, okay, then guidelines, then subsequently came with in this one, the sexual harassment at workplace, okay, and that you were mentioning ki, this one is a very long name. No, it's just remember like PPR, that is Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2015. So this is very encompassing and a very details act, and definitely it covers all the aspect of the sexual harassment. So you just read little about it, and just read the Bisakha guidelines, and these all things in detail. Gender justice, you need to define it in more details, like gender justice is what? Just creating equal opportunity for women and girl, and so that their development can also be ensured. Okay, development in all sense, economic, political, whatsoever. So you just go in little details. Then circular economy, in the very first go, you didn't define in a holistic manner. Circular economy is just like before that, circular economy or rely was on take, make, and waste. Take, make, and waste.
Yes.
So we just reverse this linear process into circular process. So definitely you will take it, make it, use it, and waste it, and again take it. So earlier there was a linear process. Now you are just making it a circular process. Okay, so it's not that you are taking the electronic items and converting it into something reusable things. No, you have to see in a holistic manner. In Jharkhand, I saw that there is a n number of companies of steel production, then mining companies, and many natural resources like Saranda jungle, etc. So you have to just analyze that how development can come into Jharkhand, and why it has not come as it was expected during the division of Jharkhand from the Bihar. Okay, so what was the philosophy that people gave at that time, and what we have achieved till now? So you just analyze it in a thorough manner. We had 1 or 2 lecture on Jharkhand, so I had recorded video of this. I will share with you, and you just go through it. So these are the things that I ask, and definitely you are a good candidate. You just prepare, for a little bit more. And when is your interview?
7th September.
2nd September. So
It is
you
on 7th September. 7th.
okay. So you have good amount of time right now at your disposal. So just prepare. All the best, sir.
Right. Anupam?
So, so Jaya, first of all, I would like to say that you have, you are very confident. That is very good. You answered almost all of the questions very correctly. Your factual knowledge is good. The factual base is good. The confidence that you generate in your answers is good. I would like to talk about a few constructive points where I think you can, improve a bit so that you can achieve even higher marks. So, first of all, I would like to say that when you are answering a question, it happened in 3 or 4 circumstances. For example, when sir had asked you about the Jyotirlings. So the first name that you mentioned was Badrinath. Now you know that it is not a Jyotirling, and in the second instance you could name all the Jyotirlings. So if you could just think, pause a moment before it. So it happens in factual questions because our instincts start to we just say the first thing that comes in our mind. So whenever such questions are asked, just take a moment, take a brief pause, and then think about, let's say at least 5 to 6 of correct names, and then answer it. That will help you. It also happened in the case of, when Vijay sir asked you about Vishakha, who was Vishakha. You started well, but then you drifted off slightly. Like you mentioned that she was a social worker, but then you said like, sir, I think that she was, sexually harassed, and so you started confidently, but your answer wavered a bit. Similarly, when sir asked you the full form of the 2013 Act, the Sexual Harassment at Workplace Act. So you started, but then again you got confused and you said, sir, I think it has a long name. So this is somewhere where I think you can work a bit more. Just take brief pauses where you are not very sure about the answer. And otherwise, I would say that you have performed very well. You did exceedingly well. You have a very good knowledge base and you have good confidence. One more thing where you can improve upon is that after listening to the question and before you answer, so I noticed that your eyes were moving sideways. Like, I think it is a part of your thinking process. But the interviewer might notice this, like your eyes are darting sideways, this side and this side. So you can practice a bit before the mirror, you can, so that you can just keep a straight face, even when you are thinking before making an answer. Because if eyes or face are moving sideways, then it shows a little bit lack of confidence. Otherwise, I would say, Jaya, that you are very well prepared. You have a good base, and I wish you all the best, Jaya, for your interview. You will do very well.
Thank you, Anupam, and thank you, Jaya. Wish you all the best. All the small
Sir,
tips our panelists have given you,
one-
I'm surely you are going to adhere to that.
sir.
And yes, Vijay, you wanted to say something?
सर आई वाज सेइंग दैट जया थोड़ा सा मतलब ना स्माइलिंग फेस रखो, थोड़ा सा जॉली नेचर के फेस
Vijay, you wanted to say something?
सर आई वाज शेयरिंग सर,
Okay.
थोड़ा सा जॉली नेचर के
ठीक है।
फेस रखो, थोड़ा स्माइलिंग फेस रखो, है ना, ताकि मतलब ये ना लगे कि मतलब ओवरलोडेड हो कि बिल्कुल नहीं स्ट्रेस्ड हो जाओ, नहीं
थोड़ा स्ट्रेस,
थोड़ा सा मतलब स्माइलिंग रहो, है ना, रेस्ट ऑल इज ओके।
नहीं बहुत अच्छा है, she will do well. And if there is no other questions, then we can close the session today.
कोई क्वेश्चन हो जाए
And
तो पूछ सकती हो, और एनी कैंडिडेट
और दूसरे भी जो कैंडिडेट हैं जो लॉग्ड इन हैं, they have any question
सर
about today's performance or any general question, they are most welcome.
I will give her some suggestions more.
Please carry on.
Certain constitutional aspects like judicial review. What is the basic structure of the constitution? What was the name of the case which gave the idea of basic structure of the constitution? What are the emergency powers?
Yes.
Somebody may ask about the constitutional provisions. So then in that case, she should for that. That's all.
He had got disconnected. So Santosh ji,
No, sir, I think I was,
anything right?
unfortunately, it got disconnected for some time. Panel member, and Ajaya needs to be a little more confident.
Slightly audio problem. Okay. So, any other candidate had any question? Jaya, you want to say something?
I was telling that I could not listen to the statement.
In the chat or inform you additionally.
Okay, sir.
Right. So if there is no other question, I again thank you all the candidates, all the co-panelists, and every other.
I just wanted to add a few things.
Carry on.
Well, as you said, thank you very much to all the panelists.